What I love about Jill is her intentionality, just the love that she has for people, and her heart for God.
And there was Bree, and I remember I didn't really know her, and it was a year and a half ago we did an Easter video. But what I noticed of her was that she was really dedicated, and she's very intentional.
The funniest memory of Jamie and Aaron so far was when Josh Matheson and Aaron were playing What Are the Chances, and Aaron had to run around the gym with a cape on, cawing like a bird, and then she proposed to Jamie, and everyone laughed because they didn't know what was going to happen. I definitely appreciate that they've been so open to everything that's been thrown their way. I cannot stress enough how thankful I am for that.
Yeah, I haven't known Jamie for that long, fairly new to the church, but I definitely enjoy being around him. He's such a genuinely nice guy. Working with him this past summer at the sports camp, really learned a different side of him. He's outgoing and, just enjoys the church.
I love Bree. She's great. She's a great impact on my life and so many other people's lives, and I know that I wouldn't be the person that I am today in ministry and my spiritual walk if she hadn't come alongside me. And I know Lo
I completely agree. Oh yes, she's been the one person who's pushed me to pursue different leadership positions and just to challenge myself in growth in the Lord, and so she's been phenomenal at that.
I love you, Bree. Now we're going to go to a funny story about Bree. We weren't present for the story, but it's one of the best stories she tells about herself.
I wish I was present.
When she was younger, she went on some skiing trip for school, and she wasn't as seasoned of a skier as the other students, and she went down a couple times, and that she was like, okay, I'm gonna go down one more time before I go on the bigger slope, and she's going down, and then she forgets how to stop, and she keeps on going full speed, and she's like, there's a fence, and she's like, oh, surely the fence will stop me, and it is not. She goes through the fence, and then there's a lake right after the fence, and it has a huge stone protruding out of it, and she lands on this rock right on her chest. All these people are like, whoa! And then she goes, they get the paramedics or whatever, this is good, and then they take her clothes and put it in the really fast dryers, but then she didn't have clothes, so they had lost and found clothes, but the only thing there was little boy clothes. She had a small sweater, and she just looked like she had been the news of the ski park. And I think that's a great story and explains Brianna a lot.
I remember when I first met Pastor Jill and Josh, it was actually, I was a freshman in college, and they were the host of the Gospel Fest. And I remember them walking on stage, and they walked on with such confidence, and I said to a friend of mine at the time, I said, one day I'm gonna get to serve with them. And I'm so blessed because they are an amazing couple. They work together in unity and empowering and strengthening God. They're anointed, they're goofy, and they're awesome, and I love you so much.
When I first met Josh and Jill, I thought, man, they're a power couple. One thing that I love about them is that they push us, but in a way where we know that they're not being mean about it. It's only because they see the better in everyone.
What I love about all the pastors is that they build a friendship that's not just in the church, it's outside the church. It gives you confidence. It's like seeing them at a football game or seeing them at a grocery store. It's like you're really family, and I love that about them. When I was baptized, Jill gave me an uplifting moment that I'll never forget, and I want to thank her for that. So thank you, Jill, for everything you've done, and thank you to each and every pastor.
What I love about Bree Dupree is just how intentional and consistent she is. She loves people and she loves them well, and she doesn't settle for mediocrity at all. She loves to dig deep and really get to the root of issues and really just help people and push them to love Jesus.
When I first came here, I met Josh first before I met Jamie, and whenever Jamie came, I saw that he wanted to be here more than anything, and I'm glad I met both Josh and Jamie because they've both been father figures in my life next to Jake also. All three of them have impacted me so much, and I'm very, very grateful, and I hope to tell them my stories when I get back from wherever it is I'm sent off to. And I just gotta thank both you guys for everything. And thank you. My family thanks you too. Thanks.
What I love about Josh is he says he's an introvert. He's really intentional about meeting new people, about talking to people who might look like they're feeling left out. But he goes out and he meets people, he talks to people, he tries to engage people, all through the strength of Christ, which is awesome.
My best memory is with Jill and Josh when it was my first year of school. And I called them and I was crying. I was crying and I was like, I don't know what a syllabi is. And they were like, it's just the plural form of syllabus. I love the new season that Jill and Josh is in. You can tell like their hearts are in community and they just want to do life with us.
One of my funniest memories of Jill Robinson, just so everyone knows, Jill is deathly afraid of birds, but she thought it would be a good idea to see how close she could get to this goose without it attacking her, I guess. I don't really know what she was thinking. And it kept hissing at her, and it honestly was the most hysterical thing. I remember her running away from this goose.
One thing I appreciate about Josh and Jill is how much they care about the college students in this area. My first memory of Jill was my first night at Fusion U when she was preaching, and it helped encourage me to rededicate my life to Christ.
What I love about Jillian Robinson is her passion for Jesus. She definitely didn't get there overnight, and especially with the Judah trials and just everything that happened with that, and especially after Bethel this summer, she's just grown leaps and bounds, and it's very evident in her worship, the way she interacts, the way she loves.
When Jamie and Aaron first came to the church, they seemed like the missing puzzle piece that our church needed, and when they got the job, the church just felt complete. I love that Jill is a great worship leader and that she will pretty much do anything for anybody.
The first time I saw Jamie and Aaron at Thrive, I could tell they just really wanted to be there.
What I love the most about Jamie and Aaron, just the way they just exuberate Jesus all the time. I don't think I've ever seen either of them in a bad mood, and I'm sure they have bad days, but they don't let that affect the way that they interact with others. So I just really appreciate their hearts and just the way that they strive to glorify God in all that they do within their family, within their ministry, within their interactions.
I remember when I first met Pastor Bree was actually also in college at Cedarville. She was a student at the time. Bree's an amazing individual. If you know Bree, she's always been serious about the things of God. She's hilarious, she's real, she knows how to have a good time, and she's a very close friend, always there for me to speak truth. She always speaks what's on her mind. You will never have to guess. I love Pastor Bree.
What I love about Pastor Josh is that we have the same humor. I mean, like the awkwardness. Look, my name's Josh. I'm Fabio with my long hair. Hello, I'm Josh, man bun. And he's so dedicated to like the ministry, and he really has a love for people.
I've known Josh and Jill for quite a few years now, and they have always just represented a safe place to me, and they are definitely heroes in my life and always will be. So I can't put into words how appreciative and thankful that I am for the huge part that they play in my life.
What I absolutely love about Jamie and Aaron, they talked so much about their passion for teens and their passion for the youth, which I thought was awesome. And I've only seen that more in depth now that I'm with them every week. So watching them really have a burden for the people in their ministry and praying over them and loving them and trying to figure out the best way to keep in contact and to keep them engaged.
So Jamie and Aaron Roten, I love them. When they came to Thrive for their interview, like meet and greet kind of thing, I was like, oh man, I hope they get this job. I love them, I love them, I love them. And little James was like the extra package on the side. I am so incredibly thankful for everything that they do in my life, and Josh and Jill, I love them too, and Bree Dupree, she keeps it real, and I love her for that. I'm just so thankful.
Pump! One thing that I love about Jamie is that he loves documentaries. Me and him could watch alien documentaries forever. I love the friendship that has grown, and the first time, I remember the first time that I met you, and it was at Thrive, and I knew there was nothing funny about it, but I just remember it, I guess.
What I love most about Pastor Josh is his commitment to others. He really takes the time and makes sure, we're not only developing spiritually, but personally as well.
A couple of things that I love most about Jill are that she's very relatable. She's easy to talk to. I feel like you can start a conversation with her about anything.
What I love about Erin is how compassionate she is and the lengths she will go to help somebody out. I love that she's goofy and funny and doesn't really care.
Jamie, you were auditioning for the youth ministry, and I judged you by like a book, but unfortunately, you went up on the stage, and you dropped the beat, and it was probably the coolest thing I've ever saw. I don't know, I hate these things. Anyways, I like Jamie's arms, they're muscular. Oh yeah.
Jamie and Erin, I met them also in college. An amazing couple, anointed. Jamie has many stories of how me and him used to get in fist fights. I'm just joking, buddy. But I love you both. You guys are incredible. Continue to walk in the anointing and the power of God, doing great work here in Xenia, Ohio at AHOP.